Welcome to After the Rain, a storytelling podcast from Playa Lakes Joint Venture. These are the voices stewarding the land and the stories that surface after the rain. In northwest Kearny County, Kansas, flat fields stretch as far as you can see. Tucked among them are shallow basins that don't look like much until you learn what they can do for water, soil, and wildlife.
This land is it's dryland in the northwest part of Kearny County, relatively flat where we have the Playas. One field does have some terraces in it for just erosion control. You know, if we had a heavy thunderstorm downpour, helps to stop the water from running and creating channels, you know, and washouts through the field.
About 10 years ago, Ryan Barnhardt discovered there was a better use for those acres: conservation.
They had a program through the FSA office about establishing Playas. It's always been something that I've been interested in, just for the fact that the Playas themselves are never very productive. So for every acre of what was deemed a Playa, they allowed buffer acres. So for every 1 acre of a Playa, there's 3 acres of a buffer strip around it that is grass.
Playas, temporary wetlands lined with clay, are the primary natural source of recharge for the Ogallala Aquifer. When restored, they capture rainfall and allow it to soak back into the ground instead of running off. But for many producers, those same low-lying areas have long been part of their crop fields, places that never quite produce the way the rest of the field did.
The thing with the Playas is the soil is super tight in the bottom of those, so they either run out of moisture and burn up quickly, or they flood out. So when we do have these heavy rains, you get 2 or 3 inch rain, and in a matter of an hour, they hold water, and then your crops will drown out. So they either way, they weren't productive. They were just bare spots of land, essentially, is what they turned into, or maybe some weeds. There was never any great motivation to farm it. And then, when these programs became available, it made sense at that time to transition them into conservation through this Playa Lake program.
The benefits aren't only underground. Wildlife has returned in force.
A lot of bird life is what we've noticed. Pheasants, quail, all those kind of species will be found in there. And then our migratory birds, a lot of times you'll see, geese and some waterfowl taking advantage of those areas. Actually, recently I got a letter from an outfit out of Colorado. They'd sent a letter. What they wanted to do is come out and actually observe species of birds in these Playas.
While Playa conservation won't double the bottom line, it steadies it and saves work.
It allows us to still have some income, via the program, to be able to not have to farm some of those acres, allow those to grow up in the grass. There are some maintenance costs. It would be similar to what regular CRP contract would be. There's some light disking required or mowing periodically. That's mostly on the buffer strip and not the actual Playa.
For Ryan, the choice comes down to value for the farm and for the water beneath it.
It's just not productive ground as far as having any kind of cash crop. That's why the program is appealing. You get to be able to have that rental payment, the more consistent income stream from those acres than what you would be seeing by traditionally farming that.
His advice for other producers thinking about enrolling Playas?
I think I should look into it. I've tried to enroll a few here recently. I still think that there are advantages to it. The 2 main things are just the recharge, those bodies of water, and having the wildlife, the habitat for that is definitely a plus. I do think it's a solid program. It's great to see the wildlife. I get calls from neighbors that specifically want to go out and bird hunt in the fall and the winter of these Playas. It's just a great place for wildlife, and it's nice to see.
by turning marginal acres into habitat and recharge zones through the USDA's State Acres for Wildlife Enhancement CRP practice, which benefits migratory birds and other wildlife, Ryan Barnhardt is proving that conservation can pay off for the land, the water, and the next generation. From Kearny County, Kansas, this is the story of one farmer and the quiet power of Playas.